So as a kid, I used to make shows for neighborhood children, and they used to come and beg me to do performances in front of them, and they never used to talk to me, they just talked to the puppet, and they got so wrapped up in it. I realized that there was a power in this thing, that it had a way of connecting to an audience which, well, I enjoyed, and I understood. I think I was far too shy to have gone and become an actor myself.
So the concept of Olifantland began with a proposal based on the book The Elephant Whisperer by Anthony Elliott. And Basil and Adrian saw the potential to create a life-size elephant puppet production based on that novel.
This year, because it's our last year, we've thrown everything at it in a way with these big elephants. And why we did that, I'm not quite sure. Because we could, and because, you know, I want to. And I want to try them out, whether it's possible to make these elephants.
To have the opportunity to work with handspring puppets and puppets that have been made with such love and such extreme skill, and to have those at our disposal, and a whole team of puppeteers and complete support from Adrian and Basil. They give the project their complete undivided support. They're giving this opportunity to the community of Barrydale to work with these beautiful elephants. They're engineering genius. Basically, I'm responsible for the whole creative project. So devising the creative project and ensuring that there is a constant creative collaboration between all the different artists involved, and that the collaboration is shared equally with the community, because it's the community's story and narrative and history that drives the project.
We're very happy to be making elephants designed by Adrian, and we'll just see where it takes us. We're not quite sure what's going to happen to it, and it could also have a commercial life. It does mean that 40 people will have to fly somewhere, plus 5 life-size elephants, so it's quite a big ask. At the moment, it's just an act of faith. The whole place has been set up especially for Olifantland, which is the name that we've given to this show. And basically most of the people, or more than half of the people who were employed on Warhorse, have returned to us and are working on this production.
I think that, you know, storytelling is in all of us, and enabling people to actually believe in their own creativity in that level, that it's not something so hard to do, that all you have to do is take a leap and do it, and you know you might make a fool of yourself, but if your passion is strong enough, you'll pull through, like we did. We've got a superb team. We've got a lot of the people who've been working in the factory, like the Ukwanda team. You know, they really know how to make puppets, and they know how to make puppets that last and can take punishment.
Yes, actually this is the biggest project I've ever been part of. We've been doing Barrydale, but this one is the big one.
There's Jono DeLange, who did all our aluminium welding. He's been with us for a while, and you know, so, and they all get on. Within it for Pret, they are the dedicated people, and they're the young people who are still learning what dedication means.
like I can't explain it, but you can feel the vibe. You can feel that the passion that they're doing it, and I think they actually drive our people also to be passionate to work with them, and I think to have them on board, they create so much more for our young people.
The parade has become the focus of the year. So I mean, this year the theme was elephants, and we started in January already researching elephants. So it's been a whole year's thing.
She is, one of the best art teachers in the country. She knows very clearly the pedagogical approach about, teaching incremental skills. And so working with a range of ages here in Barrydale, she's designed very carefully, objects that can be easily made by young kids and more complicated objects for older kids.
Puppets are really hard work, so they're physically demanding. So a lot of the training is getting the body in preparation. First time the elephants have ever come to life. Stop holding a boma, as the police! Okay, just buy a bar of
I've been doing yoga for over 15 years, and I found it incredibly useful with puppetry. For one is you really need a strong and flexible body as a puppeteer, number one. Number two is very, very key in that with puppetry, the basis of all puppetry is breath. Breath gives the puppet life. And the connection between breath and movement is explored with yoga. The other thing is bringing the body and the mind together, which is what yoga does. So the thought processes and the body and then the object that you're manipulating. Bringing all those elements together, yoga is really useful as a tool. So we use that as a warm-up. And actually what ends up happening, in fact, is that you imagine that the puppeteer controls the puppet. But the reverse starts to happen. The puppet begins to control the human.
Nana, you're the matriarch. Nana, you're the leader. Nana, the gentle beast. Nana, you're the matriarch. Nana, you're the leader. Nana, the gentle beast. Yeah, 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 the gentle beast. Yeah, 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 the gentle beast. Nana, you're the matriarch. Nana, you're the leader. Nana, the gentle beast. Nana, you're the matriarch. Nana, you're the leader. Nana, the gentle some of the fun things that happen, well, they're not fun, but things that put you in really compromising and interesting positions, that puppets break. Inevitably, that can happen to you during a performance. I mean, I've had entire legs fall off with a full auditorium of 3,000 people, and there you are. What one of my teachers, Mark Fleischman, always says is, the audience is not really interested in the mistake. They're really not. They're interested in how you cope with it.
Yeah, the challenges, because we have now to adjust elephants because we don't have same heights. So now we have to adjust the back of elephants. There are challenges because now we have to start down. Like in the previous year, we do the same thing. When you come here, we have to adjust all the time. Like, see some problems, then we have to fix. Bear in mind, we have to be on the rehearsals with the guys, have rehearsals, and then come back to the workshop and then fix puppets. So that's a big challenge.
Hi, I'm Yaku. I'm the stage manager for Olifantland. Yeah, we've been here 2 weeks now. It's a crazy process, but it's a lot of fun. Labor of love kind of thing. It's been good. It's been crazy. This is our second day that we're doing it outside in a space that's any bigger than 2 by 8 meters. So we're still figuring out spacing as we go. So we're still busy with our first stagger through of the show, where I think we're about halfway through the show at the moment. Well, this heat is crazy. We've had, especially the puppeteers inside the elephants, we've had people get heat stroke, and our puppeteers actually have bottles. They're not allowed inside the elephants without their bottles on a string. So yeah, people are just getting exhausted in the sun. I've been part of this process 3 years now. I actually think this is the hottest year we've had so far.
Art puppeteer in Mandla, and yeah, it's quite an experience being in the elephants. They're fairly sturdy, but yeah, we're working in the heat here.
Too hot, the weather is very hot, you know. Then it's hard to stand on the puppet for a long time, you know. You have to maybe do the rehearsal for 20 minutes, then you get out, you get water, just refresh your body, you know.
What I've seen is an immense growth in terms of the individuals, the young leaders who are working with Net for Pret, in terms of their confidence and holding space and taking ownership in the narrative and writing their own dialogue in the script and becoming more active and involved in the process of research, in the process of how do we put this play together, in the process of like working through the theme and coming up with the theme and coming up with how the story will be told. And also in terms of their skills and skills level and skill set. That for me is something quite interesting, and also having some of the Net for Pret young leaders going to UWC to study. So there's an interesting corridor that has been built between Barrydale and UWC because of this levels of collaboration.
By building a boma for their new home, to keep the elephants safe and sound. By building a boma for their new home, building a boma, building a boma.
We live in a world that is so loveless, you know, like people are afraid to love, people are afraid to feel. And when you experience puppetry, there's something that happens to you as the audience where you believe you're seeing an elephant on stage. You believe it. You believe that you can communicate to the elephant because you see it. But it's a puppet. You know, that moment of just like pure ability not to be afraid. You know, like, as humans, we are always afraid, like, because the world can be the world. And what puppetry gives us is as Nina Simone would say, like, what is love? It is not to fear. And what puppetry gives us is that possibility of not being afraid. And that possibility of not being afraid means that we believe. And I suppose that's also part of reconciliation, to believe that we can completely heal. And that puppetry gives us that moment, even if it's an hour moment, where we have all transcended something about ourselves and we're looking at this object and we believe that it is what it is.
You know, it's such an important occasion, such a moment of affirmation for young people who have got involved with a world-class performance company like Handspring, but who also bring to it their own stories and narratives and forms of thinking and questions. And so, you know, there's a nice, healthy mix of people. The thing that's worked here is that everyone gets on and that everybody understands that we have an objective. And the focus is to ensure that we build the conditions where we all, you know, have our own individual projects and we're all learning to learn, but we're also all focused on this group of young people in Barrydale who we believe have something to take forward in the stories that they bring with them.